under now. So, you know, that should give the young players a bit more incentive that if a club does approach you, even if they don't, you know, go down there and give it a crack. But if a club does approach you or shows interest, show them the commitment back.
And I totally agree, because the one thing you wouldn't want to be doing is sneaking in a little game. And you see it in the AFL, and you see why the teams get so cranky if a player's injured or is coming back, or, you know, on a weekend off goes and plays for a local, you know, social basketball team. They're getting paid a lot of money, or they are just pivotal in the side. And if you're going to go away and be given a chance and you want to just have 1 week of a pre-season, the Gold Coast Suns are offering you, it's hard to switch off that you don't want to go and play with your mates or family.
I said, listen, if it's raining, I won't even let you get on. You know, that's even more risky than a dry game if it's raining. But you know, I think an AFL player that comes out is Liam Ryan. I think a couple of times he's gone back home and thought, no one's going to see me here, and there's a high-flying mark of him up there, and
he's used a fake name to get on the court, and it's like everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, it's.
Well, Carlton have had those issues, haven't they?
Yeah.
Where one of their key players, I won't mention his names, but, you know, he's gone and done a knee.
I know.
You know, playing basketball. With his mates. You know, one of the Essendon players recently went and played some Gaelic football, you know, a match with his mates. They're like, what are you thinking?
Last year, I think Ollie Wines was wakeboarding, you know, a week before pretty much the season, and did his shoulder. And that put him back. I mean, he was a co-captain, and that really put his season back. And, of course, he's no longer the co-captain this season.
I know some people think the other side of the argument is, oh, you still got to have a life, you know. But when you think about the opportunities that you're given, and I mean, even in the NRL, the stat was something like the average lifespan of an NRL player is only 50 games.
Yeah.
So to have that opportunity and to work so hard to get to that level at, you know, either state league or AFL, you know, it's just that hard thing to maybe on an off season not go skateboarding.
They're all on, like, even when they get drafted, they're all on pretty good money to start with in a contract. You know, it's not like you're getting $10,000. These young players that get drafted, they're on a base salary, but the salary's pretty good.
Yeah, and they're now contracted for their 2 years, so it actually sets them up quite well when they get in from a draft perspective. The mid-year draft is not like that as yet, but that's something that the AFL no doubt will be asked to look at as time goes on. But you're on a good contract, you're on good money, they expect you to make the commitment, and I think that's fair enough. And Shannon, as you just said, the life of the average AFL footballer or NRL footballer is actually not that long, so you've got to get stuck in and make the most of it while you can.
Well, it is now an exciting time for 2020, our first broadcast to be back for the new year. And after this weekend, only 7 rounds to go before the finals start. So, as round 12 for our broadcast match is about to kick off. Last night, if you missed it, second place St Mary's had a 63-point win over the Eagles, who sit in the 6th. And we have just watched a thrilling end to the Darwin Buffaloes taking on Southern Districts. Darwin Buffaloes have beaten the Crocodiles by 5 points. The Crocs had an opportunity to draw the match, and a kick after the siren just missed to the left, and it was a 5-point win to the Darwin Buffaloes. But what is going to unfold here, we will only know in a couple of hours, as Nightcliff, the reigning premiers, are sitting on top of the ladder to take on Waratah, who sit in 7th. They've had 3 wins and 8 losses, and their coach Ryan Ayres would be really challenging their side in these last 8 matches for the season to go out and finish off with a lot of pride. Sunscreen on a couple of the faces for Waratah. The sun is just starting to creep behind the Morris Rioli Stadium stand, and there is a little bit of shade, especially for the interchange, which is pretty nice. We've seen at 2:30 matches, those steel chairs to be burning.
It's pretty windy out there as well at the moment, a bit swirly, just watching the trees as well swirl around and the flags.
I know which wing I'd like to be playing on at this time of the afternoon.
Definitely,
And that is not the scoreboard wing, where you are looking directly into the sun as it's just beginning to go behind the grandstand, but that is right in your eyes at the moment.
So the toss has been won for Waratah to be kicking towards the Michael Long Learning Centre. And we will see Nightcliff Tigers with that strong breeze at their back, as Natasha just mentioned. But as I hand over to Natasha Medbury to get us underway, very special moment here in the commentary box. 2 female ball-by-ball coverage for the first time in the Northern Territory. And Natasha Medbury with all the action for Nightcliff up against Waratah.
Thank you, Shannon. So they're just still making their positions, taking their time at the moment. And of course, there's no warning now if they don't get into their 6-6 rule. It's a free kick straight away to the opposition team's ruckman.
Just on the ruckman as well, young Wilkins, what a time to step up in the men's Premier League. Had a great season in Div 2 last season, went up to Div 1, was their main ruck, and now he is a very young man who has battled it out. I'd have to say they probably have been the one team that hasn't had a great ruck backup, have they?
No, they haven't, but he got good size to him.
His mum was a great Territorial netballer, the Wilkins.
Oh, was she?
Bronwyn Wilkins.
You would know. So the umpire holds the ball up high. We hear the siren. Throws it up. Waratahs versus Nightcliff. Well done to Wilkins. Gets the tap down. Nightcliff trying to get away with it. Waratahs with the first clearance. Kick it down to the 50. Good pick up. Just an errant hand pass, but goes back to a teammate. Nightcliff are going to clean up here through Paris. Paris kicks it out wide to the wing. The bounce favours a Nightcliff player. Kicks it off the ground towards the boundary. It's picked up here in front of our commentary box by the Nightcliff player. Kicks it over the top and misses his mark, and taken by Waratah for Waratahs.
Waratah goes into the middle of the ground, picks out Simpson. He plays on the left footer, puts his teammate under pressure in the middle of the ground. Handball ugly. Not able to pick it up there was Zobel. Waratah now still going down the grandstand wing, and Kane Riley for Nightcliff Tigers. The great running centre half back, booming kick down towards the forward 50. Waratah under pressure, picked up now by the Nightcliff Tigers' Ryan Moo. He gets a handball over, and that'll be a high tackle there. That tackle on Brain. So the man infringing was Zobel. Brain gives it off, and to Melville. Kicks it up for the lead, being honoured. Two Waratah players crash in, and they spoil the party there of Cameron Islet.
Oh, probably a free kick got one a bit high there by Cameron Islet.
Yeah, definitely. I thought Cameron Islet certainly took him high there, and the umpire looked and said, oh, it's Cameron Islet. I think we'll let that go.
So a ball up, forward line here for Nightcliff. Nightcliff ruckman gets it down. Number of players around the fall of the footy. Again, Cameron Islet's in there, lays a heavy tackle. Waratahs can't clear it. Cameron Islet has it again. The umpire is going to ball it up in exactly the same position.
Straight in, wasn't he? Cameron Islet's been terrific on 2 occasions so far. Just holding the ball up, making sure that he's got it stuck inside the Tigers' forward 50.
Again, just outbodied Wilkins there for Tars. Good tackle. Nightcliff shovel it out to Wills. Wills has a shot on goal. It's going to go through for a point, and the first score on the board is to the Nightcliff Tigers after 2 minutes.
Well, terrific start there by the Tigers, really pressing forward. Kane Riley coming off half-back. Gee, I love him as a player. He just attacks the ball so beautifully. Long kick is excellent. Waratah under pressure already in the early stages of this game.
So Goob gets it out to Zobel. Left back pocket for Waratah. Zobel decides to switch the ball, goes over to the right back pocket to Rakiwasa. Ugly kick, but he picks it up, goes on the outside score by N. Miskicked up over Stevens' head. Ball down on the ground, and it's Nightcliff Tigers who have got it on half for Moo. Gets the handball off. Nightcliff Tigers back into their forward 50. And a leap there, but 2 Waratahs players battle it out, and they're able to bring it out defensively, or are they? And it was Zobel who's just been crashed by Chikas. Now under pressure, arches his back, Godden. Gets a handball over. Still not out defensively for Waratahs. A lot of handballs. There's 5 players for Waratahs, and finally picked up and run out by Rakawasa. And an odd kick across the field puts his player, teammate under pressure. Still not cleared. Simpson smashed in a tackle, and it was an incorrect disposal from Simpson for Waratah, and they were not able to clear out a defensive 50, and it's going to give Nightcliff a shot on goal directly in front, 40 metres out, and it will be Bricknell to take it.
Oh, Bricknell, a very good kick of the footy, but the reason why he's got that ball is just forward 50 pressure. Tigers were terrific. We talked about it with respect to the other matches already played this round. Pressure is so important, and the Tigers have exhibited it in spades already.
So, looking for the first goal of the match. Bricknell approaches 45 degrees out directly in front. He liked it as soon as he striked it, and he gets high fives, and they get in front by 7 points. Nightcliff leading Waratah, yet to score. 4 minutes gone in the opening term.
Gee, wouldn't you love to have that kicking style, Matthew Bricknell? If you're a young player, just come down and watch the way that he kicks the footy. If only Rory O'Brien had kicked it like that, is what Southern Districts would be saying right now too. Just such a beautiful kicking style, executes his skill magnificently, straight through for a goal. Tigers with the first then of the afternoon, and just that forward pressure, absolutely terrific. They're running in numbers. Ryan Moo's been very good already, getting his hands on the footy quite a few occasions.
He has.
It just gets in and under there already. Cameron Island leading well also.
Back in the middle, again, Wilkins wins the tap, but Winter Irving gets it out to a teammate. So Tigers go forward into the 50, nearly a mark there by the goal kicker Bricknell. Going to clear up here. Waratahs has a spare player on the wing. That's the grandstand wing, marked by Graham. Finds Godden. Godden's working hard to start this game for Waratahs. Kicks it to the 50, and an uncontested mark taken by Brown for the Tigers. Has a big ruckman by himself. Winter Irving takes the mark, just holds it up here. Well done by Jordan Wilkins just to hold him up. Chip kick, that's not 15, should be play on, but the umpire awards it. Tigers in the midfield. Big hand pass. The player running past his bowls. It's a big kick into the 50, but again, an uncontested mark taken easily by the Waratahs defender in Joel Stevens. Kicks it out wide, gives his teammate Ellis a bit of a task. He's got a player in the midfield that's good eyes. Finds Kiranura, I think it is. Kicks it out wide to the grandstand wing. Waratahs going forward. It's a poor kick into his player there, Waratahs. Nightcliff went without it. This is Kiranura now from the 50. Puts it to the top of the square. Drop mark. Should have been taken there by Smith for Waratahs. They still have possession of the footy. Snap on goal. Goes to the goal square. Just out-bodied by Paris. Paris picks it up. Hand passes to Brown. Brown kicks it upfield. Misses his target, but Cameron Islet's there. Has a player running past. Hand passes to his teammate, and all alone in the midfield is Philip Wills, and he can take off here for Nightcliff.
One bounce, and he decides to put a handball over, finds Hagan. He takes a bounce now, hits the 50 metres, being chased by Wilkins, the ruck, but it's not enough to put him off his kick. Falls in the lap, down in the left forward pocket there, and that was a easy mark in the end from Melville. Trent Melville runs around, banana kick, and he puts it up. That's going to bring rain, and he likes it, and the umpire hasn't had to move, but he made hard work of that. That was...
How good was the young ruckman for Waratahs with the chase? The chase?
Yeah, Wilkins has got some speed, hasn't he?
Oh,
so
look at this chase.
Was the man that kicked that goal. So Butcher has won and Bricknell has won. Yeah.
Jeez, that just blew me away.
Well, that's very good to see from the Nightcliff Tigers' perspective. John Butcher back in this team, because Trent Melville's a target. John Butcher's an even bigger target. And he tends to float between full forward and centre half forward, which is exactly where we see him on the field now. Melville works very hard as a full forward. For Nightcliff to have that other marking target in their forward 50 in John Butcher, again, nice signs for them as they take the first steps in this post-Christmas, early New Year period. He'll be a very important factor for them in the finals.
Back into the middle. Well, throws it up. Easy tap there by Morris for Nightcliff. Islet goes without it, but then lays the tackle. Good tackle as well. Puts the pressure on. Waratahs trying to get the footy out of the midfield. Number of players around the footy. The umpire's letting it go. Bit of a scrum in there. Wilson picks it up. He quickly kicks it forward. So we should go back for Waratahs. Just pushed out of it. Butcher again was going for the goal. He could have kicked it over the top, but he tried to go the inside-out banana, and he's hit the post, so it's going to be a boundary throw-on, which probably works for Nightcliff. Geez, he probably had the hand pass over the top for his teammate that was all by himself in the goal square.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky, I think. Nice push out on his opponent there. Then again, the umpires are closer than what we are.
Jake Smart, veteran defender, standing at the back of the two ruckmen. Butcher goes up against Wilkins, tried to tap it behind, kicks it off the ground, and he's kicked it through for his second from the left pocket. Butcher was doing the rucking. He's done the roving after it dropped to the ground. He followed it up, And the big man, he's got back-to-back goals, and that is a 19-point margin Nightcliff have over Waratah. Nightcliff 3-1-19, Waratah yet to score. 9 minutes gone in the first quarter.
I think we just see here Wilkins working really hard, just out-bodied by the bigger man. And you look at the size difference there between Wilkins and Butcher. It truly is, you know, an adult playing against a young boy in a sense. Butcher, a very strong man, but so mobile. Quick onto the ball, quick thinking, didn't have time to pick it up as Wilkins was by his side, socketed through for a great goal.
Back in the middle, Nightcliff clear the footy. Again to the 50, but a good mark taken by Zobel for the Waratahs. Centre half back here. Not many options. Kiranul runs out wide. It's a poor kick. Going to be a turnover here if Nightcliff can get this before it goes out of bounds, and unfortunately it goes out of bounds in front of Brain.
So you say that, Tash, a poor kick, and that's exactly right. Ryan Ayres would be furious with that. That was a kick that just had to be made. If you're going to cross goal like that, you've got to make the target and then be able to have that target get on their bike straight away.
And Kiranul was by himself as well, and he led pretty hard.
So simple things are really hurting Tars right now.
Ball tossed back in. Morris up in the ruck for Nightcliff up against Wilkins. No clear winner. Now it's Rakawasa for Waratah. Gets a handball away. He got it to Grant. Quick kick straight up in the middle. Cantilla gets an ugly bounce. Still chasing after it. Still pressuring. He taps it forward cleverly to Hodgson. Still in the middle of the park. Waratahs. Little chip over to the left wing. Kane Riley does extremely well. Out-muscles the player from Waratahs and O'Connor, and he kicks a chip over down the grandstand wing. And again, Kane Riley showing why he's defensively doing well, but there is a push in the back from Waratah Hodgson, and Nightcliff Tigers will get a free kick. Centre of the grandstand wing. Brain goes in the middle of the park, picks out Butterick. Wanted to give a quick handball there as a 50-metre as...
I reckon that was against Simpson.
Protected area.
Yep, it fringed, didn't they, in the protected area. Gee, I like Hodgson from Tars has shown a bit already there, number 13. He's been willing to move up and down the ground and through the middle there. So good signs from some of their younger players, but gee, they've just got to hit their targets.
And Zobel's been playing well, but he's the man that's been marched to, well, he's 20 metres directly out in front, and he is protecting the area. Kicked easily by Butterick, straight through over the goal post. Over the goal umpire. She's going to signal, and well, that's 4 straight for Nightcliff. So ominous signs here for the reigning premiers. 4-1-25, leading Waratah yet to score. 12 minutes gone, and Butterick picks up the 4th goal for the Nightcliff Tigers.
Well, it's a bit of a procession at the moment, isn't it? Only 12 minutes on the clock. 4 goals on the board already. They've hardly been past half forward, the Waratah Football Club, unfortunately. And as I've touched on a couple of times already, just not hitting targets. And again, they tried to bring the ball to half forward, missed a target, turnover. Kane Riley put the pressure on straight away. And from that point on, Nightcliff were in control of the footy.
So Smith up against Winter Irving. Smith gets up pretty high for Waratahs, wins a tap down, but only as far as Islet for Nightcliff. Wilson picks it up, tries to shovel it out to a teammate running past, quickly on the boot. Liam Holt-Fitz is around the footy. He's dangerous when it's at ground level, tries to keep it in front of him, keeps his feet. Waratah's defenders are under enormous pressure here. Good pick up by Zobel. Just blazes it out of the 50 and straight to the ruckman for Nightcliff. Hands it off to Hagan. Hagan drives it into the forward 50 for Nightcliff. Numbers at the footy. Tries to pick it up. Well done by Godden for Waratahs. Just outbodied his opponent, pushed him off the footy, got the clearing kick, and the ball goes out of bounds around about 60 metres away from the Nightcliff goals grandstand side.
Yeah, did well there. Bailey Cots just to kill the footy, put it over the boundary line. Numbers swarming straight away for the Tigers, but just got it over the
They're
boundary line.
under enormous pressure, aren't they? The back line here for Waratahs.
Winter Irvine for Nightcliff has front position. He goes up against for Waratah's Smith. Ball still in the forward 50 for Nightcliff. Air kick. And Rakawasa was under pressure, got a handball away from Zobel. He goes a spearing kick down the middle of the park. Had too much on it for O'Connor. He dropped a ball that he should have taken. He's still there on ground level trying to pick it up. Kane Riley picks it up for Waratahs. Quick handball succession. Arnold was involved. Wilson picks it up, puts it on the left, inside the left forward pocket. And he finds Butcher, who's hugging the boundary 30 metres out. Looking for a pass at the moment.
Wills was on there and he ignored him. I reckon he's going to have a crack.
To Sean Wilson, what a lovely left foot kick that was. He's so important to this Tigers team. Sometimes underrated, I think.
Yeah.
He just works so hard.
Butcher now looking for his third. A very big up and under, and going for a fly was Melville at the back. Picked up by Waratahs, and Zobels just pushed it through for a behind. And that was an ugly kick in the end from Butcher.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It's Nightcliff 26 leading Waratah 0, 15 minutes gone.
So a quick kick out. Shaper for Waratahs has the footy. Still inside the defensive 50. Kicks it into the centre square. Good mark taken by Geekus for the Tigers. Does he have up forward? Number of players. Ryan Moo goes front and centre, just out-bodied Zobel. Should get the free kick.
Yeah,
pushed in the back.
Umpire right on the spot there. He was being held. He got the push. Had to get the free.
He had to get the free. He's a good player. Bailey Zobel. Just an up and under kick. Doesn't have much to go through at the back. It's a little push out there, but a good mark taken by Kim Cantilla here on the grandstand wing for Waratahs. Kicks it up to his mate. Can it get to the back? And there's just a punch by Jaden. Kick it. Tell you what, if it got to the back there, Henry Kiranua had a paddock in front of him and could have ran all the way to the goal square for the Waratahs, but a boundary throw in around 70 metres away from the Waratahs goal.
Great to see Jaden kick it consistently in this team. Again, another fellow who played for the Tigers many years ago and in there and doing well.
Shallow kick favoured Winter Irvine. Sorry, shallow throw in favoured Winter Irvine. He tapped it down. Arnold from Nightcliff has wrapped up a Waratah player, and there will be a ball up.
They just managed to stop a bit of the momentum here for the Tigers.
So Winter Irvine up against Wilkins for Waratah. Winter Irvine getting the front position at the moment, but Wilkins' ground level was good. Ball comes out. There's 10 players around. Arnold from Nightcliff, heavy tackle. Another big tackle from Brown.
In the back.
And it's going to be a free kick going against Brown. And playing on for Waratah quickly, McBean.
Dangerous kick, but it paid off.
Goes into the middle. Hands now to Rakawasa. Booming right kick from inside the centre square. And now it's going to be taken out defensively by Nightcliff Tigers over on the outer wing. Comes down the centre wing. Cameron Eilert in possession, just holds it up, looks for a pass. Finds and not able to take the mark was Cheetahs, but running through the middle was Wilson, who picked it up, finds an unmarked Butcher in the left forward pocket. This combo has been dangerous. Butcher looked to play on quickly but dropped the ball. He goes to play on quickly, kick towards goal, and in the end Holt Bitts is not able to get to it. It goes behind, and he had a better option in the middle for Moo, was unmarked.
He butchered that up, didn't he?
Yeah, pardon the pun. He sure did. Last two kicks from Sean Wilson have been absolutely sensational. The last two from John Butcher, who was on the receiving end, have been terrible.
Nightcliff 27 leading Waratahs, 17 minutes gone, opening turn.
So coming out of the 50, Waratahs. Got a player on grandstand, the scoreboard side wing, keeps it in Waratahs, well done. It's back to Kim Cantilla. They haven't gained any ground here, so still on the wing. Waratahs just looking to retain possession, kicks it into the 50 now, and it's going to be chopped off by Cameron Eilert. Just well read.
Does it so well.
He does. Quick chip in board, looking to just open up the play a little bit, looking to switch the footy. Jaden Kickett was calling it. Now the umpire says play on, so he needs to get rid of it. Kicks it long. Kane Riley, well done in the middle of the square, centre square. Kicks it out wide, has a runner on. Rain takes it. Oh, good kick, good vision again. They're looking for Butcher on the left side every single time. Doesn't hit him this time. Probably didn't read it as well. I thought Brain probably could have had a kick had Ryan moved.
Yeah, Ryan Moo cruising through the corridor. It's the second time he's been on the move there, and they've just ignored him twice. I don't see the point in going right out deep into the left forward pocket. I know it's Butcher, but you've got better options on in the corridor where the goal kicking is going to be far easier.
It seems to be their game plan, doesn't it? But
it does
very
seem to
deep.
be. Perhaps Butcher's the one who needs to lead straight up the ground.
Ball tossed in the left forward pocket. Butcher does the rucking. He's tapped it forward, and it's going to be taken over the boundary. 20 metres from the left post, still inside the attacking forward line for Nightcliff Tigers.
We've got a bit of a gale out there, Murray. If you can see the trees at the back, it's really blowing out there.
Yeah, I'll just jump on that again quickly. I mean, Butcher's the biggest man in the forward 50 for either team. Needs to give him a real presence, lead straight up the ground to the ball carrier.
Butcher up against Wilkins, left forward pocket. He taps it down easily. Nightcliff Tigers with all the numbers. But it's going to be Keranua who picks it up, dances through, not able to get a good piece of the leather, but it's still Waratahs who have the ball. Come out to the left wing in front of the commentary box. Cantilla for Waratah. He's doing a great lot of work on Jonathan Paris. Paris picks it up quickly, handballs it out. Butterick has it. He goes back inside the Nightcliff Tigers forward 50, and on the 50-metre arc, Wilson takes the chest mark in front of Wilkins, the ruckman. He stutters. Wilson just drops it forward, looking for Cameron Islet. Great defensive work from Keranua. Now it's going to be moved, picked up, shot on goal, and it's just gone to the left. And he had a great opportunity there to get his first goal, but he's still down on the ground.
Yes, he's been burnt twice so far, and he just burnt his own teammate then. Yes, Moo is down. He got hit hard in the lower leg, I think. And Melville just near him at the moment and just trying to check whether he is okay.
He's just in that protected area of the 10 metres that allows Waratahs to run out from the goal square. So rightly so, the umpire,
just holding his left knee there,
Stephen Bloom, has just called time on the game just to allow him to get out and allow the game not only to go on, but the upside is he is walking.
Up and about.
He's limping off in the hands of the trainer. So we'll keep an eye on Moo. But with that miss from Moo, Nightcliff 4-4-28, trailing Waratah, yet to score, 20 minutes gone.
Geez, he really burnt his teammate in the goal square. Just watching that replay, he just burnt his teammate.
It's taken him that long to get it. He was like, I'm going to have a shot on goal no matter what.
I reckon they've called it
blood coming from the top of his right knee?
They've called the blood rule.
Yeah, just on the top of his right knee there.
He doesn't really want to get off too fast, does he?
No, and the umpires are sort of looking, going, hey, come on. If you
it's actually blood from his chin. It's coming all the way down his...
Is it?
Yep. He's got blood
or is it
all
both?
Across his jersey. He's in a bit of the wars there.
Spot of bother there, Ryan. A good player, but gee, he needed to use the ball far better on that occasion.
So Waratahs with the kick out. Gooch has got the footy. So 20 minutes, nearly 21 minutes gone. Nightcliff 4-4-28. Waratahs yet to score. They all break now. Gordon drops the footy under enormous pressure by Wills. Wills uses his body well, but Rakawasa, geez, he's had a blinder of the first quarter for Waratahs. He's had leather poisoning. It's been down there that often. Zobel goes with that mark back to Zobel. Good work by Wilkins, a young ruckman for Waratahs, but look at the Tigers' pressure. The umpire says, give it to me. He's going to ball it up. I've been impressed with the young ruckman for Waratahs, Jordan Wilkins.
Very fit as well. He goes up against Morris. Morris gets the tap down. Wilkins, though, comes in with the tackle. He's still on the ground, desperate on knees. Cameron Islet's over the ball. So is Wilkins. And the umpire's going to say it's not going anywhere.
Even though it had come out.
On the wrong side of it. So, ball up. 60 metres in favour of Nightcliff Tigers' goal. Wayward handball comes out. Waratah player gets a kick to it from Gooch. Ball still on the ground, not able to be picked up clearly. It looked like it was a shove in the back to Graham, and it was. So it'll be a free kick to Waratah's Graham. Defensive side of the grandstand wing for Waratah. He goes the top, long kick down the grandstand wing. Oh, huge fly. Mistimed it in the end for Waratah was Smith. And now it's Nightcliff Tiger that are going to rebound. And Wilson drops the mark he should have taken. He tries to give it to Arnold. He was muscled off the ball. And ferocious tackling from Waratahs. We'll see a ball up about 2 metres in from the centre wing on the grandstand side.
Yeah, they didn't have much to kick to. Waratahs had to go the old torp. Wilkins wins it up down. Zobel goes without it. Pick up by Morris. Gets it back to Islet. Islet off the side of his boot and taken by Hodgson. Again, doesn't have much to kick to. He's telling Kim Cantilla to run to him. Now he pops it at the top, and an easy ball to drop mark by Jaden Kickett. Pulled his opponent off, so good work, Kim Cantilla. He's going to earn the free kick. Kiranua.
He made sure the umpire saw every bit of that, didn't he?
Yeah, he threw himself back as soon as he felt the jumper tug. So Henry Kiranua kicks it to his mate in Kim Cantilla, directly in front, about 25 metres out, 30 metres out. Should go back and get this one, Cantilla. a noted goal kicker. These flashy green boots. Comes in. Didn't take much time at all. Looks good off the boot. Wynn get hold of it. No, he sneaks it in. So Waratahs have their first score on the board, which is a goal to Kim Cantilla. So good setup by Waratahs. They work hard to get that first goal, but after 24 minutes, they're on the board.
Yeah, well done on that occasion. It was a little bit of acting, perhaps, from Henry Karanua, just to put it nicely. But his kick was very good then, very quick, off to Kim Cantilla. And Tash, you're exactly right. Kim Cantilla, he didn't muck around having his shot for goal. Was straight back, set himself, and then straight onto it. Beautiful kick. First goal on the board for Tars. They had some good possession there. They fought hard for it and then used the ball well at the end. They've just got to do more of that. Their defenders are working so hard. I've been very impressed with Rakewasa in particular.
Yeah, he just come off for a break now.
Just working so hard. They've got to keep on using the ball well through their midfield, keep putting the pressure on.
Winter Irvine up against Wilkins in the ruck. One down by Winter Irvine. Gets it to Philip Wills, the captain for this season. Arnold dropped a mark he should have taken. He's able to regather out on the grandstand wing. Philip Wills not able to pick it up cleanly, and he takes it over the boundary.
You know, they've stopped Nightcliff from scoring. And when you think about it, you know, Nightcliff had 4 goals before the 10-minute mark, I think it was. So they've done well to actually slow down that scoring by Nightcliff.
Now moving well into the game here in Tars. They've just got to keep on doing it, keep getting hold of the footy and then using it well.
Throw in front of us as the siren goes to end the first quarter. So Nightcliff 4-4-28, leading Waratahs stuck on 1 goal.
So that ends the first quarter here at Marara Oval for round 12 action between the reigning premiers Nightcliff taking on Waratah, and that late goal to Kim Cantilla
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while down power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
Come in and see it.
still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem
and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Come on, boys. Come on. Hands in tight here. Get that left bus again. Get that square out of the way, man. Hey, what's wrong with all this training? They practice 10 days. That's where we can open these comes up. All right, when we get the ball, hold it up. Don't have to play to their speed. But we got to work them, all right? You got right option, all right? In and out of space, all right? Let's fucking get them going. Ready? 1, 2, 3, start!
Run the first 10 minutes of that quarter, so I thought they did well to peg it back.
And Dom, in terms of that, they finished well. They did not give up, and Waratah showing a lot of spirit here. The best thing too for us up in it, we can say in the air conditioning commentary box, is that there's a bit of cloud coverage away, so they're not in the baking sun at the moment. It's been so warm up here in Darwin. The 2:30 game was very, very warm, but it's a little bit of cloud coverage, so I'd say a little bit of relief for both teams.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what, look,
trying to find positives here.
I know you
season.
are. You're doing very well. The 2:30 game is such a challenge.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no doubt about it. Look, I think as time goes on, there are going to be more night games here in the top end. It can't be otherwise, because the 2:30 game is just such a challenge. It is so hot. But look, Tars did finish positively. Ryan Ayres as a coach, I think you can't ask for much more than that. They're being outclassed in the talent field, I think, at the moment. So what you want is you want to see effort. You want to see real effort from your players, and I think you're getting that.
Well, ball held aloft. Natasha Medbury to get us underway in the second quarter.
Wilkins against Winter Irving. Irving wins it down, trying to get it out, but Waratahs have the footy. They have the first clearance. Drop mark. Easy opportunity there. Good tap back to his teammate. Waratahs get position, and front position in the forward 50 was Waratahs' McBean, Kyle McBean. 49 metres out. Kicks it from 50. Up and under kick. It's going to fall short into the goal square from the back, and a good punch through from a good defender in Nightcliff, and punches it through for a behind. So the first score on the board for this second quarter is Waratahs 1-1-7, still trailing Nightcliff 4-4-28.
Great news too. Ryan moved back on the bench for Nightcliff. No jumper change. They're able to clean him up. He's got his head strapped, so we won't miss him when he comes out. But great news there that he is back, ready to come into the action when he can. Talking about coming back into the action, kicked it to Paris. He goes for a long kick out towards the scoreboard end. Not able to be picked up cleanly for either side. Dragged back in from Gardner for Waratah. And he's on the bottom of 4 players. And the umpire said, I'll ball it up. Winter Irvine runs over. So does Wilkins. Not sure he's going to get there in time. Wilkins didn't get there in time, so Winter Irvine easily just tapped it down. Picked up by Wilson, beautifully on the run, and he's given it off, but Wilson is the man that's going to be able to see if Nightcliff Tigers looking there for Butcher. Butcher not able to take a mark in the goal square. Cleared out from Waratahs. And it's going to be Cantilla who's going to lead the race for Waratah. Tries to step around a player, gets a handball away. Not enough tough players around at the moment. So it's going to be, that's Nightcliff Tigers going back inside their forward 50 through Bowles. And Easy As You Like leading out in front.
That was a beautiful kick by Bowles.
Oh, he's such a classy player.
And Melville, too, has 26 goals. There's only one goal behind Will Farrer in the leading goal kicker. He won it last season, and he's got to line up for his 27th goal of the season. Comes around, gets a better angle. Bananas it around the corner. Has it got the distance? Might have been touched on the line.
I reckon the goal umpire's going to give it.
And he's going to give it. So that looked a little odd with the Waratah player on the line, jumped up, easily deflected it, but he must have been behind the line, and the goal's been given to Trent Melville.
I reckon the ball's gone behind the line.
Yeah, let's check it out here. We get Waratah, that's such an opportunity to take the footy away. They just couldn't quite get it away. Daniel Bowles got it. What a beautiful left foot kick he is. He had it perfectly positioned there. Melville took the mark, and by the look of it, we're not going to get the opportunity to see that actual replay. But Shannon, I agree with you. The player, to me, had it covered, but was behind the line and jumped up for the footy rather than jumping towards the footy to actually take the mark.
Back in the middle, well done. Wilkins gets a tap down. There's that man Arnold just busting his way through for Nightcliff. Tap comes back to Wills. Knows he had a teammate out wide. Hagan picks it up, hand passes it to Wilson. Wilson just dances around his opponent, chips it over the top to Arnold, who kept running. He's 55 metres out from the Nightcliff goal. Drives it into Eilert. Eilert punches it on to a teammate. That's Trent Melville, I think, and he's kicked his second. So within the space of a minute, Nightcliff have kicked 2 goals, both to Trent Melville, and just dominating the clearances and through the midfield. But well done, Brad Arnold. There was 2 or 3 efforts in there just to clear that footy for Nightcliff.
Yeah, well done again. Just that pressure football and using the footy well. Brad Arnold featuring in there. So too Sean Wilson, who had an excellent first quarter, and he's just carried on. Kick coming in there. Cameron Island's provided a target up forward very well on a number of occasions. Hasn't really seen a lot of the footy. Trent Melville, the opportunist there, and just showing that he can kick not only on his right foot but also on his left foot. 2 terrific goals there to Trent Melville, well deserved, and he takes the lead in the leading goal kicker, Shannon Byrne.
So that's 28 for the season now. Winter Irvine got the tap down, not able to clear it out of the goal square, the centre square at the moment. And the ball up will continue directly where it did, and underneath was Simpson. Winter Irvine gets it in front, taps it down to Arnold. He puts it in the boot up to centre half forward. Bounce doesn't favour Holtz Fitz, and it's going to be cleared out through Waratahs. Holtz Fitz, though, chasing it up. Bounce doesn't be kind to him again. It goes down towards Cots for Waratahs, but picked off nicely from Hagan for Nightcliff Tigers. He dances around 1, dances around 2, just gets a boot to it. Gets it off to Melville. He squares it up in the middle. And there were players lining up for the Nightcliff Tigers directly in front, 30 metres out. And Trent Melville had great vision. It's probably what they were told at the first break. There were probably some bad
I think that is.
decisions being made in who they were looking at in the first quarter, and Nightcliff now sharing it around. Bricknell looking for his second goal. First one came in the first quarter, and he's directly in front, 30 metres out. He likes it, and he doesn't even have to get the goal umpire to move. He picks up his second, and he picks up his 7th for the team. Nightcliff 7-4-46, leading Waratah 1-1-7, 5 minutes gone in the second quarter.
And when that mark was taken, did you see all the Nightcliff players run off 4 interchanges at once?
Yep, straight away.
Fresh legs.
Looking very organised, very fresh indeed, and they're making sure that they really attack this contest hard in the early stages of each quarter. They did exactly this at the beginning of the first quarter, doing it again now in the second quarter. Waratah have to muscle up in the midfield and try and push the ball forward as quickly as possible.
Can't miss Moo out there in the forward line at the moment.
He has
Think
the
of the mummy.
look about him.
So Morris against Wilkins. Wilkins wins the tap down, but Wilson kicks it off the ground and gains 50 metres. So he's got the clearance. Here goes Moo, all strapped up against Rakawasa, who had a brilliant first quarter for Waratahs. Wills picks it up, drives it in to a leading forward. Couldn't get it to Butcher, and it's, no, the umpires called it for a ball up. Geez, just as the ball was coming out to
they've done that on
Bricknell.
a couple of occasions, haven't they?
Just a bit early. I asked the umpire last night in our game why they were calling it early. The same thing was happening. So Wilkins again wins the tap, but just got no players at the drop of the ball for him. Again, there's going to be another ball up.
Tars very fortunate there. The player dived in, pulled the ball into himself. I think it might be Rakawasa. It is indeed. Pulled it in, was tackled. Very fortunate.
Disguised it well. Butcher up for the Tigers. Trying to clear the footy here. Waratah's defenders. Gets it out to Kiranua. And the ball goes out of bounds. About 80 metres away from the Nightcliff goal.
Kiranua did very well then just to push the ball defensively, just kept it in front of himself, pushed it out of play after receiving the kick from the old man of the Waratah Football Club in Jake Smart.
Yeah.
Don't see him out there a lot. Was a great player for them in his best days.
Yeah, veteran defender. Great to see him back out there. Morris in the ruck now for Nightcliff Tiger up against Wilkin. He wins the tap, gets it down. And it's Waratah who have to go backwards to go forward. They go down the outer wing. No mark still being able to take in here, but there's going to be a free kick coming to Waratahs. And player there in Simpson just holds it up, centre of the outside wing, goes for a long run, puts it inside the forward 50 for Waratah. Mark not able to be taken. Jaden kick it at the back for Nightcliff. Is able to win it. Down the middle they go, Nightcliff Tigers through Cameron Islet. Rakawasa read it best for both teams. He gets a no-look handball, and that goes in favour of Nightcliff Tigers. Cameron Islet down the middle to Moo. He's got his head strapped up. He gets it on to Wilson with a short kick. Wilson, edge of the centre square. Booming kick, looking for Butcher on the lead on the left. Butcher dropped what he should have taken. Still trying to pick it up is Butcher, and it is going to be play on. Moo picks it up. He tries to burn away, gets it around the corner, and he kicks a goal from the left forward pocket. And Moo has just snatched it from Butcher's grasp. And Moo picks up his first goal for the afternoon. And Nightcliff 8-4-52 lead Waratah 1-1-7. 9 minutes gone, second quarter.
Terrific play there. You see Sean Wilson with the long kick. He's only got one target, Sean Wilson, and that is Butcher. Gone straight to him. Again, he led to his right, John Butcher, as he has done all afternoon. We see him miss the footy. Ryan Moo coming in, not exactly front and centre, but the small man hitting the ball hard on the ground, picked it up really well, and then charged off at pace towards goal. Lovely little right foot snap there to finish it off. Well done, Ryan Moo, well deserved, but also just tremendous play from the Tigers. In particular, Sean Wilson just getting that ball, kicking it long to a target.
He's having a brilliant game, Wilson. Waratah's trying to clear the footy through Kiranua. Manages to get it clear. Brown's leading the race here for the Tigers. Goes without it. Bit of a tussle here, still in the centre square, and all tied up. The umpire's going to ball it up. A good tackle. Brown attacked that footy well, but just went without it. There's Arnold. Tigers just uncontested. Morris couldn't get hold of it. Up and under kick. Wilkins, not 15, so play on. Arnold's in there again against Kiranua. Arnold's trying to shovel it out. Needs to get rid of it. Oh, I thought the umpire was going to call him. He was trying to get rid of it. They were trying to keep it in under him.
Tars were after it too. They're asking for the free kick there.
Trying to fool the umpire as you do. You hold it into the player and hope that the umpire thinks they're not trying to get it out. Comes to the back. Cantilla kicks it forward. How does it bounce? It bounces well for Godden. Kicks it quickly, but just off aim. Geez, the idea was right, but just didn't have the right accuracy, so it's through for a behind for Waratahs.
Well done there by Godden. Very, very quick from hand to foot. Just didn't have the accuracy on that occasion. Interesting to see him playing full forward instead of his usual midfield, probably a resting role.
So Nightcliff Tiger 52 leading Waratah 8. 11 minutes gone in the opening second quarter. Long kick down, and it's been picked up by Riley. He gets a little handball in through traffic. Now he gets it back again. Riley kept going. He is now 60 metres out. Short kick towards Butcher on the lead. Probably could have got a kick for a high. Moo did the roving. He's tried another around the body kick, and it's gone to the lap of, is that Hagen?
Bricknell, I think it might be.
Bricknell, smart vision finds Trent Melville. Bad checking there from Waratahs because Bricknell was right on the boundary line and he has put it back to Melville, who is now 40 metres out directly in front of goal. And I definitely think that might have been the message at quarter time, is better teamwork and vision around the forward 50, because they've got a lot better vision in this second quarter, Nightcliff Tigers. Trent Melville coming in for his third goal of the game, and he likes it. That was straight, and Trent Melville's picked up his third and now leads the leading goal kicker with 29 goals for the season so far. Nightcliff 9-4-58 leading Waratah 1-2-8. 13 minutes gone, second quarter.
Oh, looked a little bit too easy there. Kane Riley handled the footy. 2 or 3 occasions there was just magnificent. Target again was Butcher. Didn't take the grab. Ryan Moo featuring again. Just terrific play. Really strong around the hips to keep his balance well. Snapped on goal. I'm sure he was going for goal.
Yeah, he
but
was going
found
for
the
goal.
target there in Bricknell. Passes back to Melville, who kicks a goal. The disappointing part for Waratah, and this is what Ryan Ayres would be disappointed in, they all dropped their heads instead of marking up on somebody. They could still mark up on Melville, didn't do so.
So Smith in for Waratahs now in the ruck. Wins the tap down, but only travelled about 5 metres forward here. The big ruckman for Nightcliff is putting his body on the line. Good shirt front. Geez, you don't see that very often. That was a good old shirt front in the centre square. The umpire's found a free kick for a high. It's going the way of the Tigers. It's going to Kidney. Kicks it out wide to the wing. Just walking his opponent there was Bowles. Daniel Bowles. Geez, he's usually a beautiful kick. Just puts it out in front. Good body work there by Gooch. Waratahs. Puts a tackle on. Rakawasa. Usually delivers well. Finds Kim Cantilla all on his own. Just holds it up. Rakawasa's running past. Bowles goes with him. That's a drilling ball. He tried to hit his target. Picked up by Jekus. Oh, good intercept by Cantilla. Needs to get rid of it. Dances around. Still has the footy. Gets it back to Rakawasa. And kicks it into the 50. Drop mark there by Buderick. Kicks it out wide and the race is on. Here's Ryan Moo, usually good at ground level. He does, picks it up. Geez, he's got good hands at ground level. Just holds it up, waits for a runner. Had a teammate going past, runs to the 50. That's Brain. Brain puts it just to the top of the square for Butcher. Butcher just outbodies his opponent. Hand passes off to Liam Holt Fitz. Goes through for an easy goal, and Nightcliff have their 10th goal on the board.
Training run.
Just too easy there.
That was just an absolute training run then, but didn't they use the ball well? There were a number of times there where they could have mucked it up. They may not have hit a target, but they kept working and they just used the ball so well. Brain in particular, his run and carry was excellent. The long kick, using the target again. John Butcher, clearly the main go-to man, and very unselfishly there, taking the mark and taking it well. Handballing off straight away, goal on the board. Well done, the Tigers.
So the reigning premiers, the Nightcliff Tigers, have started 2020 in fine fashion. Nightcliff 10-4-64 leading Waratah 1-2-8, and their goal came late in the first quarter through Kim Cantilla for the red and white. They haven't scored a major in this second quarter, and there's 16 minutes gone. In the ruck, it is Winter Irvine trying to pick it up. He just kicks it forward. No player able to get good purchase on it at the moment. Winter Irvine jumps on a Tars player at the bottom, and there's going to be a ball up. Still in the centre of Marara Oval. Sun just poking out behind the clouds. And so a warm afternoon, but not as warm as the 2:30 game where the Darwin Buffaloes had a thrilling 5-point win over the Southern District side, but it's all Nightcliff Tigers through their captain, Philip Wills, inside the forward 50. Great work from Liam Fitzholt. He takes a mark, went to run on, and unselfishly has given it back to Trent Melville, the man that gave it to him for a goal. And Trent Melville has now the opportunity to get his 4th goal in the second quarter. He unselfishly plays on, finds Butcher in the goal square, 5 metres out. And unfortunately for Waratahs, that's such bad defending that Trent Melville, directly in front, was 20 metres. He's gone directly in front, 5 metres out, and found an unmarked Butcher. just as I was marking that down to Trent Melville.
How was the mark to Liam Holt-Fitz?
The mark for Liam Holt-Fitz was just terrific. Michael Hagan doing beautifully out of the middle of the ground. Philip Wills was by himself. Holt-Fitz just judged that incredibly well. Initially, I thought he was going to try and defend the footy by punching it away. He got his hand, and you could see him position his hand so that it didn't punch away. He was able to fall to him to take the mark, and then unselfishly back to Trent Melville. Again, Waratah need to realise they can actually mark up on players here. Back in the middle, Wills first to the footy, taps it out to his teammate, but couldn't get it there. Kicked in mid-air by Waratahs. A number of players going crashing at the footy. Brain picks it up. Usually a good deliverer of the footy. Ball short. Murray couldn't take it. At the back here is Liam Holt-Fitz again. Good at ground level, so is Murray. He gets in there to help his teammate. Shovels it out to Butcher. Butcher just lines it up. Gets it back out to a teammate. Geez, they're sharing the footy around now, and Cameron Islet takes an uncontested mark, 45 metres out, about 40-degree angle. Should go back and nail this one as well. It is looking too much like a training run at the moment for the Tigers. Just looking fantastic, isn't it, really, from their perspective? Terrible for Waratah, but just fantastic for the Tigers. Look how fit Cameron Islet. Geez, I don't think I've ever seen him look unfit, Cameron Islet, as he goes in for the Tigers to kick their 12th goal and sails through the middle of the goals. So he's got his first, and the Tigers have their 12th. Just too good at the moment, and definitely sharing the ball around, as we just watch on replay, Dom. Yeah, so Jasper Brain again getting that ball in quickly, quick and hard, and then these smaller players just going to work. Liam Holt-Fitz starting to warm to the task. Ryan Moo's been terrific all afternoon. Butcher's been the target. Brain's been good, and that kick out to Cameron Islet again, one could have been excused for simply having a crack at goals, but no, the unselfish play is where it's been at, particularly in this second quarter. And ladies, it's almost like as though it was a message from Chris Bucks, you know, stop being selfish, share the ball around, you'll kick more goals.
Morris in the ruck now for Nightcliff Tigers. Go up against Wilkins, tap down. Philip Wills overruns it for Nightcliff. Now it's coming out in favour of Waratah, but it's going to be Kane Riley on the outer wing underneath the scoreboard who picks it up. Kicks the ball over, just chips it over the head of Arnold. He had a lot of time and space. He kicks it forward down to Moo, but it's gone out of bounds on the full. 60 metres out from the Nightcliff goal, but it's going to be brought back in.
Often a tricky wing to kick on, man.
Especially with the breeze. The breeze is going across the ground now.
Kick not making its target. Kane Riley just marked it at the back. He found the lead of Holt-Fitz on the 50-metre, looking for Butcher on the lead from the right, and he's marked it in the left forward pocket. 45-degree angle, and they are taking well advantage of the height difference here. So Butcher, former AFL player, going up against Gooch, who's having a dirty day at the moment for Waratah, but he just passes the 50-metre arc. Butcher does, and he's sprayed this to the left, and he won't be happy with that. So Gooch, the man on the mark, goes to retrieve the ball, and Nightcliff 12-5, 77 lead Waratah 1-2-8. 20 minutes gone, second quarter. Again, terrific build-up there from the Tigers. Target as it should be. Butcher, his marking's been sensational. Just his kicking has let him down a little bit this afternoon. So Gooch kicks it to Zobel. Not much on. He's going to have to go the long kick down the line. He does, looking for Wilkins. There, Ruckman does well to get a fist to it. Attacking the footy is Kiranua. Goes in hard, but picked up by Kickett for Nightcliff. Hand passes to a teammate. Good tackle. Thought that should have been dropping the footy. The umpire says play on. Kickett dances around, spins around, gets the ball on his right foot, up and under. Ruckawasa's underneath it. Trying to pick up by Bricknell. Bricknell takes Ruckawasa. Cameron Islet kicks it ahead to himself. Now will use his body well. Kicks it over to his teammate, and Liam Holt-Fitz. Good at ground level. Well done by Sam Godden. Doesn't pick it up, just kicks it off the ground. Gains 50 metres. It's out of the defensive 50 for Tars. That's a 360 spin. That should have been holding the ball as well against the Nightcliff Tigers, but the umpire play on. Back to Arnold. Arnold finds Moo, 45 metres out. Well beyond his distance here. Moo needs to pass it off. Kicking against the breeze as well. Puts it to the top of the square where Butcher is. He's marking everything that goes down there. Doesn't mark that one.
under enormous pressure, needs to get rid of the footy. What's the umpire going to call? Oh, I didn't think there was much of an attempt there.
The Waratah player gets a big smile on his face. Thanks, umpy.
So a ball up right in front of the goals here for the Tigers. Gooch gets up, gets the ball down, clearing out of the 50 here for Tars. There's a water runner in the way. The umpire lets it go. Good mark taken by Hodgson. An up and under kick. Try and mark that. Anyone? Punched forward. So Kiranua should get to this first. He does. He's got a teammate in Kim Cantilla ahead of him. What can he do? He's got the pace here on Paris. Picks it up and then he falls over the boundary line and then the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw. And geez, I thought he had a bit more opportunity there to take on Jonathan Paris.
Absolutely, he needed to grab hold of the footy and then use his pace. He wanted to get away, unfortunately for him, before he even had the footy. So footy first, then do something with it.
Up in the left forward pocket for Waratah. For Waratah in the ruck was Smith. He was going up against Morris.
That hit someone in the face.
Kiranua just bursts out of the pack, puts it on the foot hurriedly, and he's missed everything to the left. And there'll be a free kick going to Nightcliff Tigers.
Yes, Wilson was the one who copped that footy in the head from Brett Arnold there.
Hasn't been down in the forward line for Waratah at the moment, so what can their forward line do? Try and keep it in. Kick long across the field to Brown. Brown goes quickly down, but Hodgson for Waratahs is around. If he can keep it on the wing, he can't. Ball favours the player in Morris. Moo there, trying to pick it up on the grandstand wing, and it's hurriedly kicked forward for Waratah. And it will be a ball up directly in front of the Waratah interchange, where 3 players are happy to come off and have a rest. And 3 are forced out there into the action where they trail. Nightcliff Tigers 77 leading Waratah 8.
So boundary throw in. Wilkins up against Morris. 23.5 minutes gone. Goes without it. Brain tries to shovel it out. Wills overruns it and he's taken to ground. Close to the boundary line again and it come off the back of the leg, but boundary umpire says he's going to throw it in. So
yeah. Hodgson, very fortunate there, went the hack, you know, half a metre away from the boundary line. He's lucky that he didn't just kick it straight out of bounds on the full. Needed to be a bit more disciplined there and grab hold of the footy, try and do something with it then, or just take it over and get the boundary throw.
Even try and earn the free kick, you know, from the back or something like that. So shallow throw in, Wilkins gets there first and Morris just takes off with it. That was his opponent in the ruck. Kicks it over the top and again, kept in, probably dangerously, probably thought about it as well when he's seen Eilert there. So the ball goes out of bounds on the 50 for the Nightcliff Tigers. Well done by Stevens.
So again, the ball in forward 50 for Waratah, but only momentarily. They just have not been able to set up in a defensive fashion to keep the pressure on.
They can't lock it in there, can they?
Keep the ball inside their forward 50. Here we are within moments, back down inside the Tigers' forward 50. Let's see what they do now by way of pressure.
Ball up, left forward pocket, right on the 50-metre mark. Morris in front, he taps it down to Wilkins, gets a handball off to Wills. Wills on the left foot, and he has got a free kick after the
down the
ground after the kick. So he was dumped after he got rid of it. Wills.
Butcher's like, thank you very much.
Yes. And again, you see the prime movers involved. I mean, Wilson, since halfway through the first quarter, has been in everything. Passing off to Philip Wills is really growing in this game. And Butcher, here we go again.
Standing on the boundary, just takes one step in and curls it around the post. And so Butcher now, he has got 4 goals, his second in the second quarter. And Nightcliff extending that lead. They have a 12-goal advantage, 25 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Well, I said, let's see what they do with their pressure in forward 50, and 30 seconds later they've got a goal on the board. So it's just a little bit too easy, and there's some undisciplined actions then starting to creep into the play of the Waratah Football Club as well. So yes, they may not have the depth of talent that Nightcliff have got out there, but they can still man up, they can still put pressure on and do those things. And we're just looking down at the bench here. They've got 3 players on the interchange bench. They have to keep an eye on that and see where number 4 is, whether there's somebody in the dugout somewhere getting some treatment. But that just maybe another eel to add
the numbers,
to the list.
They just told the full forward for Waratahs to get back in the square, so that should have actually been a free kick. So they allowed that warning to happen. Picked up by the Tigers as the siren goes to end the first half of the footy game. Waratah is 1-2-8, still trailing Nightcliff on 13-5-83. That was a good quarter by the Nightcliff Tigers. Geez, they hammered home.
Well, 9 goals in that quarter, Shannon. 9 goals to 2 points.
So that is why Nightcliff players are all giving each other high fives. They are super impressed with that second quarter. They now lead by 75 points at half time.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1 bun with icing. No pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
On Territory roads, anything can happen, so you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble.
Choosing a health fund can be tricky. Some are too big, too small, or just not right at all. But with Territory Health Fund, you can make sure your cover is the right fit.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffle, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh.
Wedding or birthdays coming up? Maybe a get-together with friends and family. Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrate in the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
in that
Melville
second quarter.
unselfishly gave it to Butcher to get his fourth.
Yep.
But Melville still leads the goal kicking now. After his 3 goals, he is out in front on 29 goals. So if you imagine how many between Melville and Butcher, we've got 7 between them just in this match. You know, Melville could be streaks ahead because the 2 big units, as you mentioned. Butcher is just huge, and there's nothing that the Waratah's defenders can do, and it's been a very long afternoon for Gooch as well. The good news too, though, for Waratahs, if we can find some, is that 4 players are going to the bench.
Smart.
Jake Smart,
still out there, but I don't know how long for.
Well, he's attempted to warm up in that second half. He can't bend over. It looks like a very bad
water bottler.
Yeah.
Gee.
And so he did warm up, so it doesn't look like a hamstring or a quad, but it looks very ginger with a bad back or something. But anyway, he's attempted to warm up. They did finish with 3 on the bench. He's there talking at length to Stevens, a younger player, so at least having the veteran player out there at the moment, he's trying to help some of his younger troops, but they need a lot of help. Nightcliff 13-5-83, leading Waratah 1-8, and that only goal coming late in the first quarter to Kim Cantilla. Hope you're enjoying all the action from Marara Oval as the cloud is just creeping over and the sun setting behind us in the stadium. Now half of the field is in shade, which is a nice thing for the players in this second half coming up. Dominic.
Shannon, it raises broader questions, I think, as to where the Waratah Football Club is in fact at from a Premier League perspective. The last couple of seasons, they were sort of on the edge of pressing for finals and were playing relatively good football. Of course, you know, Justin Bugler playing regularly, so too Abe Ankers. With the way they are at the moment, this is a struggling unit. You've got to wonder where they're up to.
Well, we'll find out. The second quarter about to get, second half about to get underway. I'm Shannon Byrne. Dominic McCormack is our expert, and Natasha Medbury to get us underway for the third quarter.
Wilkins against Winter Irving, gets it back to Arnold, running through for the Tigers. Clears the footy, kicks it up to Eilert. Rakawasa gets there first. Umpire goes down, couldn't run back quick enough. Rakawasa still has the footy. Kicks it inboard, chopped off by Wheels. Comes to the back. Waratah's defender picks it up, just can't hit his target. Arnold's again there for the Nightcliff Tigers, crashing through. Wilson controls the footy, then takes on an opponent. Should have been holding the footy. He dropped it. But the umpire says, no, give it to me, and he's going to ball it up in the centre square. Still about 70 from the Nightcliff Tigers goal.
Some real positive intent there from the Tars.
Wilkins gets a tap from the back, kicked off the ground, kicking in danger, Philip Wills. And a free kick going to go to the way of Waratah. And they come out to the commentary side. Zobel gets a kind bounce. He goes backwards. He was being harassed by Wilson. Little chip down. Mark should have been taken by Godden. Goes straight through his fingers. And it goes over the boundary in front of the Waratah bench. And interesting that Melville's gone a full forward. So Butcher's now out at centre half forward, having a bit of a run. First time we've seen him outside the goal square.
It's where he should be.
It's a few drop marks now for Sam Godden. He's got his hands to the footy. Boundary throw in, drops short. Wilkins from the back. Goes in for a second effort, tries to kick it. He's taken without the footy, so free kick. No drop in the footy. So free kick going the way of Cheetahs. So Cheetahs with the free kick. Just looks around, looks to switch the play, but then doesn't. Kicks it to the big ruckman. He takes a one-handed mark. Geez, that was 15 just. So Winter Irving. Play on now. Close to the boundary. Big ruckman kicks it forward, looking for Butcher at the back. Doesn't get to him. Picked up by Gooch. He took on his player in Eilert. Close to the boundary again. Waratahs will be happy to see this go out. Players are calling for deliberate. The umpire says throw it in 49 metres around grandstand side from the Nightcliff Tigers goal.
Oh, been a good start here from both teams. Been impressed with the way that Waratah have thrown themselves in. Good positive attack at the footy. But again, the Tigers, they've managed to press forward, putting the pressure on again here with the ball inside 50.
Ball up. Winter Irvine up against Wilkins. Short one. Winter Irvine at the front gets the tap down. Wilson not able to pick it up or kick it off the ground. Arnold's in there battering hard. Kicked off the ground by their captain, Philip Wills. Holt Fitz just taps it forward to himself, tries to put it to the top of the square and over the head of Melville. And as it went over the head, it was
a pass, but he nearly got the goal in the end.
Bounce was the outswinger. and went the other side of the post, so it went through for a behind. Nightcliff 13-6-84, lead Waratah 1-2-8, 3 minutes gone, third quarter.
Gooch plays on. The target really wide. It's on centre wing. Scoreboard side. Brown's there for Nightcliff. Tries to pick up the footy, can't get rid of it. I says play on. Picked up by Jonathan Paris. He comes out of the pack, squares it up to Arnold. Arnold delivers it into the 50, and a good mark taken by Gooch. Has a player in Zobel out wide. Fumbles the mark. Hand passes over the top to a runner. The Tars coming through centre wing. Kane Riley goes without it. Two ruckmans go at it. Well done, Wilkins, the smaller body, but Winter Irving tries to pick it up, can't. Waratah's play needs to get rid of it. Geez, he's laying on top of it there. That was Joel Stevens, and the umpires found him a free kick. No, it's going the way of Gardner. Gardner has a player on the 50. He take the mark. No, good spoil by the Tigers. 2-on-1. Henry Kiranua can't take off with it. Geez, he just spent it before he had it. Good work by the Nightcliff defenders. Are going to tie it in here, and the umpire's going to be forced to throw it up inside the 50 for Waratahs.
Again, good play by both teams. Tars really pushing hard here. Can they keep going? Can they put a score on the board?
Winter Irvine at the front, taps it down to Cheetahs. He gets a hurried kick down the middle of the park. Ball favouring Waratah, but traps it back to Wilson. Wilson picks it up, gets it onto Melville. Melville looking for Butcher behind, and he marks it over the top. And again, Gooch was at the front, doesn't matter if he's at the back, and Butcher is reading the ball well. And Butcher is going to line up for his 5th goal of the afternoon, his first for the third quarter. In front, will hit it at 35 metres, strikes it and likes it. High fives from Cameron Islet, and Butcher has picked up his 5th for the afternoon. And we are only 5 minutes into the third quarter. Nightcliff 14-6-90, leading Waratah 1-2-8.
Again, just strung the play together beautifully here. Sean Wilson involved. Long kick. Again, the long kick down towards Butcher, who's just been that consistent target. And the big man takes the mark and takes it well. Tars had an opportunity in the midfield to actually take possession of the footy, and they just tapped it around. They needed to grab hold of the footy and then find a teammate. So another goal on the board here for the Tigers.
Love to see how many assists from Wilson to Butcher for his goal.
He's been the go-to man, hasn't he, Wilson? He just doesn't matter where he is, he goes, where's Butcher? I think that's exactly the way that they need to play. He is the main target.
Morris wins the tap for Tigers to Wills. Wills kicks it forward quickly. Without the footy was Bricknell. The umpire says play on. Here's that man again. Wilson can straighten up and have a shot himself. He does and nails it. Deserves the goal, Sean Wilson. Nightcliff have their 15th. Started the third quarter well, but Sean Wilson had a brilliant game, deserves the goal. Took it on himself to have the ping when he was in the clear, and well done to the Nightcliff Tigers again.
As we check the replay here, Philip Wills taking the ball beautifully out of the middle. Bricknell probably should have had a free for being held, but Wilson just attacked the ball hard. Check out here, he'll have a little bit of a look. He had a beautiful look to see whether he could pass the ball to Butcher. Couldn't do so. Wonderful to see. Took the responsibility then to have the shot on goal and absolutely nailed it. Well done, Sean Wilson, but well done the Tigers. Just that positive footy. Another goal on the board. Thoroughly deserved.
So Smith in the ruck now for Waratah. Up against Morris. The two backup ruckmen in there. Kick it comes through from defence. Gave a give and go. Gave it to Cheetahs. Now inside the left forward pocket for Nightcliff. Melville picks it up, kicks it around the body, huge up and under, and it won't find the target of Butcher, and it's fisted over the boundary.
Someone is absolutely floored in the back here.
So a bit of concern. He's just starting to move now, which is good for Waratah. That's Graham. Just getting to his feet now, Graham.
I must admit, I did not see that. I was following the play, following the footy there. Certainly, as you say,
I'm pretty sure it was Graham.
There.
I thought Hagan was going pretty hard at the footy. But, yeah, it's definitely a free kick. Pretty sure it was against Hagan.
So Graham is up, and he's going to take the free kick. He handballs it off as he goes back down to his haunches. Keep an eye on that, Dom. He's not well.
No.
The kick forward was looking for Smith for Waratah, but now it's going to be coming out through Nightcliff Tigers. Cheetahs gets a handball out. He got it onto Butterick. Butterick goes around a defender, goes down the left wing on the outside, looking for the lead of Melville, and it wasn't able to be marked. He's limping at the moment, Melville, after that attempt.
Still no one from TARS has been able to get out to see Michael Graham to check whether he's okay yet. They
Just
really
now.
need to do that. They're only just reaching
now.
him now. He still doesn't look well.
Yeah, a bit dazed still, isn't he?
He shooed them away, but they shouldn't take "I'm okay" for an answer in modern footy.
Boundary throw in, falls short again. Well read by Morris for Tigers. Gets it onto his teammate in Cheetahs.
Good.
And a good mark taken by Zobel. Geez, they've needed him down back today. Good kick across to a running player in Gooch. Gooch kicks it up to centre wing. Good foot race here between Paris and Cantilla. Kane Riley wins the footy. Hand passes back to Paris, loses his footing, falls over, gets back up and kicks it. Had enough time, mind you, to do that. Kicks it over to Moo. Moo, two against one. Moo gets the handball off to Wilson. Pretty strong in these situations, Wilson. Gets it to Cheetahs. Cheetahs over the top to Kidney. Kidney dances around one, quick kick. And Moo is absolutely crunched in the back. Absolutely crunched as his teammates get around to remonstrate with
Andre
the
Ellis, I
opponent.
think it might have
Ellis.
Well,
So just have a look,
that
a bit
was,
of a melee here.
Bit crude, wasn't it? Just attack the back. There was no thought of going for the footy whatsoever. Ryan Moo with his
Head already strapped up.
eye on the footy. And that was not terrific play there at all from TARS.
Good news, though, Moo is up to his feet and walking back to take the free kick.
And Kim Cantilla was down behind play too, and Henry Karanura was, because Cantilla was involved with Peris. So that's right, Henry Karanura up after being...
So Ryan Moo already has a goal. Goes in, looks good off the boot. Does it bend around? It does. He's kicked his second, Ryan Moo. Well-deserved goal. Geez, it was a crash in his back that he got. There was only one thing that opponent was doing, and that was flooring him. So the Tigers have their 16th goal on the board as we watch on replay here.
Here we go. Sean Wilson again in the action. Got it away to Cheetahs. Pick the ball up. This is what they've done consistently all afternoon. Even when they're under pressure, pick the ball up. Tyson Kidney with it, evading. Ryan Moo kept his eye on the footy. Bang! Big hit came there from Liam O'Connor. There's no glory in that. Ryan Moo, well done for keeping his eye on the footy. Lucky that's not a report, really.
Yeah.
That's a charge. It's high. Got smashed in the back.
So late.
Oh, so Ryan Moo takes that free and kicks the goal. Glad to see that he's up out of that. And Shannon, you're exactly right. Henry Karanua was the one who was down behind play. He's up and about as well, so good to see.
Back up in the middle, Wilkins wins it over Morris. Good height advantage now for Waratah in the middle with Winter Irvine having a rest.
Great
handballs from Henry Karanua.
He is
now
up and about.
towards the forward 50 for Waratahs in the left pocket, just taken over by the Nightcliff Tigers. And I'll just go back to Moo's goal as well. As he kicked it, about 15 players came and just gave him a pat on the back and celebrated that goal, because that was very brave to bounce up after that huge hit from O'Connor.
Might be a small player, but I tell you what, he puts his body on the line every week.
And that was great team play too by the Tigers to do that and really get around him.
So now on the forward 50 for Waratahs, hasn't been here for a while. Cott's up against Riley. Riley at the front for Nightcliff Tigers. Wins it down easily. Ball on the ground. Arnold puts his head over it, but picked up from Waratah's Simpson. Simpson on the bottom of a pack of 4 players. And there'll be a ball up 50 metres around from the Waratah goal on the left.
The umpire just clearing some space here. A lot of players around this ball up. Work by Smith for Waratahs. Gets it onto his teammate in McBean. Kicks it to the top of the square. Falls short. Picked up by Hodgson. Quick kick. Doesn't go anywhere. Just up and under. All the players at the back line here. So someone's copped one high, and the umpires found the free kick. There was a Waratahs player holding his head, but he's the one that doesn't have the free kick. It's going to Sam Godden. Worked hard for that, Godden. So 15 metres out. Slight angle.
There's a few sore players, Natasha, at the moment. There's no doubt about that. Trent Melville's come off. He looks a bit worse for wear as we see Godden now lining up for his shot.
So we'll stay with Godden, and that's a terrible kick at goal. On the left, that's gone through for a behind. for a senior player, you expected a lot more than that.
And, well, Nightcliff Tigers aren't hanging around. They go quickly out through the outer side. Cheetahs now in the middle, gets it on. A little chip over to Kane Riley, who was running past, gets a kind bounce. Goes inside, and he gets the run, and it's dropped in the end by Brain. So now Waratah clear it out of their defensive 50, only as far as Wilson in the middle of the park. Cheetahs puts it back inside Nightcliff forward 50, looking for the lead of Cameron Islet. And now Waratah defenders under a pressure. Gooch is wrapped up by 2 Nightcliff players. One of those including Bricknell. And there's going to be a ball up.
Again, the pressure, it just continues, doesn't it?
30 metres out, exactly. And 1 Tar player wrapped up by 2 Nightcliff forward players. So it's going to be a ball up directly in front, 30 metres. Butcher just ragdolls his opposing ruck out of the way. Kicks up and under. Cameron Islet gets a mark 2 metres
not to
in
be 50 there.
from the left forward pocket. He looked like he was going to play on, and he's been brought back, and standing on the mark is Rakawasa. Cameron Islet, 3 steps, and Banana kicks around the body, and he has added a goal, and that's his second for the match as well. Got 1 in the second and now 1 in the third. And for Nightcliff Tigers, 17-6, 108, leading Waratah 1-3-9. Their only goal coming in the first quarter through Kim Cantilla. And for Nightcliff, they have multiple goal kickers, and it's only 15 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Well, unbelievable. Sam Godden just had to kick that goal, not only for himself, but for his team. We see Cameron Islet here feigning once to try and pass. He tried to do it again, and then just does this so easily. Sets up beautifully, snaps around the corner. Tar's setup was woeful. Nobody went to him. They are gone here, Tars.
Winter Irving wins the tap down. So Nightcliff just too dominant here at Marara today. Drives it into the 50 to the Tigers. Rakawasa should have marked that, didn't. Liam Holt-Fitz comes out of it. How will it bounce? Is it going to bounce through? It does. Liam Holt-Fitz, just an opportunist goal, and has kicked his second for the game. So 1 in the second quarter now, 1 in the third. So Nightcliff have their 18th goal of the game now, but just an opportunist goal at the right time, right spot at the right time, as a small forward should be.
We see down on the ground too, McBean injured for Tars, and there's some concern about him as well. Still 4 people on the bench, but Jake Smart hasn't taken any further part. McBean now looking as though he's getting a bit of a wipe around the face, so he's copped one. But Liam Holt-Fitz, terrific individual effort there to get that goal. And Rakawasa had an opportunity to take the mark, missed it. So things really falling apart here for Waratahs.
Back in the middle with Winter Irvine up against Wilkins. Winter Irvine gets a tap. Arnold comes running through, tugged back off the ball, and it's going to be kicked off the ground from Waratah's Shaper. Over to the right, attacking side of the outer wing. Shaper gets it back, and there's a throw, which is going to go in favour of Waratah. So they're still a long way from home, looking to kick it inside the forward 50 was Smith. A huge up and under. Henry Karanua has flown.
It's off hands.
Looks like he's taken a grab, but they're trying to claim it around him. The umpire said play on straight away. Karanua's going to get off the deck and give it back to the umpire.
Tried to con him.
He did.
Directly in front for Waratahs if they can get this tap down. Wilkins flew down to Shaper, kicks it off the ground, and the ball's going to dribble to the right and miss everything. And it's now still inside the forward 50 for Waratah.
So can they put the pressure on here, Waratah, and actually keep the ball inside their forward 50? They're set up well defensively here. Everybody's marked up within the centre and from half forward. So can they actually keep the ball in here and put some pressure on late stages of this third quarter?
Ruckman go at it again. Winter Irving wins it down. Clearing kick by Kane Riley. Mr. Reliable. Where does it fall? Zobel should have gone for the footy. Was going for the player. Bricknell gets taken high. The umpire said, no, you ducked into it. So they come away with the footy to Waratahs. Gets into the 50. Drop mark by Smith. That was for Waratahs. Godden tries to clean up. Close to the boundary. He shoveled over the boundary line by Arnold. So Arnold just a bull in amongst the footy, isn't he?
Just got stuck in, didn't he, and made sure that the ball was forced over the line. There were Waratah players around who could have gone to that contest, and instead they sat back and waited.
Just waited for someone to win the
else
footy.
To do it. They've got to get in there and actually make it happen.
So another boundary throw in. So good throw in by the umpire, but Winter Irving too easy, just taps it down. Can't break free is the Nightcliff player in Cheetahs. So now that ball up, Wilkins from the back. No ruckman could get hold of it, but the ruckman goes in again. Wilkins tries to get the kick out. Tap forward by Waratahs, and again it's over the boundary line, about 55 metres on the outer side away from Waratahs' goal. They've done well to keep it there.
That's better effort there. Wilkins 2 times in the ruck. He won the ruck contest, went back in, got a kick away, then forced it towards the boundary line and got numbers around the footy.
So ball tossed back on the 50-metre arc. Wilkins went early over the back of Winter Island. Hodgson comes out for Waratah, kicks it forward to Cots. Riley from behind was able to muscle him out. No one able to pick it up cleanly. Now Cantilla chips it, looks on goal and just gets it to the right. That would have been a goal out of nothing.
Good play though.
Kim Cantilla, the only goal kicker for Waratah so far, just misses it to the right, and Nightcliff 18-6, 114, are leading Waratah 1-4-10, 19 minutes gone, third quarter.
So just held up the footy probably a bit too long there, did Brain. Wilson earned the free kick. He was in the clear a lot longer than that, was demanding the footy in there, and they had to kick it to him. So just falls short of Eilert. They wouldn't be happy with that kick, Wilson. He's not. Cameron Eilert was in the clear, just couldn't hit him. It dropped short, and the ball's gone out of bounds in front of the Waratahs bench.
Miles in front, Nightcliff, but players like Sean Wilson still got that massive pride in their performance.
In the way that they go, yep.
That they're doing the right things.
All of their skills, they want them. As Winter Irvine taps it down, picked up by the captain in Philip Wills. He gets a hurry kick inside the forward 50. Zobel for Waratah, though, is able to mop up, and he is dumped heavily after that kick, and it is Bricknell, the man that is offended, and now...
In fact, the free kick's gone elsewhere here.
The free kick's gone elsewhere as another player. Keep an eye on that. So the free kick's actually gone to Stevens. So Stevens for Waratahs has got them out of their defensive 50. So now Nightcliff has Graham off. Jake Smart hasn't played since the second quarter, and we are waiting for the siren to go in the third. So Waratah men, the troops are going down as Keranua puts it inside the forward 50, and a beautiful mark from Kane Riley from the back. He plays on quickly, finds Cheetahs on the commentary wing. They're in the centre of the wing at the moment. Wilson was running on, demanded the footy. Oh, bravely takes it as Zobel was closing in on him. Now they've got the numbers. Bricknell takes a bounce, looks up, ugly kick looking for Cameron Eilert. It's still not out of danger for Waratah just yet. Eilert gets it back to Wills. Wills had a lot of time. He go handball to Eilert through traffic, gets a kick forward, snap on goal for Nightcliff's Brown, and a huge up and under is sailed to the left.
He'll have to go to the back line again now.
Well, they mucked that up, the Tigers. They had so many players clear that they all got a bit confused. I think they didn't know where to go.
Too much time.
Too much time.
Yeah, way too much time. You don't see Cameron Eilert in two minds usually on the footy field, but he was then. Gooch, big kick out, goes out to Tigers play, just couldn't pick it up there in Gekas. But they get it back in to the 50 to the Tigers. Trent Melville delivers to the goal square, and he's kicked the goal. Trent Melville has kicked his 4th goal of the game. So he kicked 3 in the second quarter. Now he's got 1 in the third. But as soon as he hit that 50, he knew he was having a shot on goal. So Nightcliff, 19-7, 121 lead Waratahs, 1-4-10 at the 22-minute mark of the third quarter.
Oh, just becoming a clinical performance here. Sean Wilson's come off the ground for a rest, congratulated by his mate there in Brad Arnold. He's had a great quarter again. But Nightcliff just pressing on here, just making sure that they use the footy really, really well. Melville getting good, clean footy, and then the long bomb at goal, putting that through. Tars, well, there's not really a lot to say for them. They're in trouble, and no more than that is Michael Graham, who we saw getting taken to the cool room. He's in a bad state, Michael Graham.
Smith in the ruck for Waratah gets a tap down, only as far as the captain for Nightcliff Tigers. Not able to gather it though, Philip Wills, as he batted it forward out on the commentary wing. He's over the top,
he shoveled that
trying
back
to keep
in there.
it in. Godden is underneath it, and there's going to be a ball up centre wing, commentary side. And there is a lot of tired bodies out there for Waratah. Jake Smart is out there, so that's good news for him in terms of injury, but probably not good news for the number of Waratah players at the moment. Mark taken by Moo. Moo got an up and under kick. He's lucky to go 15 metres, still at the centre of the wing. Commentary side, he goes a long kick down looking for Islet. Picked off lovely mark there by Rakawasa. He has to backtrack inside the defensive 50. Gets a handball off to Zobel. Zobel kicks it forward into the middle of the park. Spots up Simpson. He's on the back edge of the centre square. He goes into the middle of the park. Finds O'Connor. O'Connor decides to go out to the outer wing. Ugly bounce for Gooch. Butcher's out long way from goal. He was chasing Godden. Drop mark should have been taken from Hodgson. The ball came back to Rakawasa. Big up and under, still in the middle of the park, and Waratah aren't able to get it forward. Now it's Nightcliff Tigers that have possession of the ball. Jake Smart tried to pick it up for Waratah. Moo, with a very heavily strapped head, is over the ball, and it's on the ground. And we are in favour of Nightcliff in the centre square, but that was an ugly passage of play, Dom.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
If Waratah did not stop that ball, there was four Nightcliff players behind him with no one on them, but he managed to stop it. So Waratahs go forward. Kane Riley needs to get rid of it, and he does. Goes without it, does his teammate in Bowles. So delivered into the 50 here for Waratahs. Henry Kiranor dances around. How's it going to? It's going to fall short in the square, and it's punched through for a behind. So another behind to Waratahs, 1-5-11, still trailing Nightcliff, 19-721, nearly 25 minutes gone.
Kick it goes the torpedo, but the siren's going to beat him as the players just let it bounce, and that ends the third quarter as a lot of tired players from both sides, because they've played a very big running game for the Nightcliff Tigers. They lead 19-7, 121 to Waratah, 1-5-11. Waratah only kicking their goal in the late stages of the first quarter through.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel, forever you feel, together real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while down power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, Fitness from treadmills to benches. Boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport Concept Store. Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Break even, break even, and then win the ball back on ourselves.
It's really tough for them to come in and try and perform. This is very difficult. They can come off and sort of build the intensity after half time. They had good intensity at the beginning of the game, but they've now got to come off a short break and try and do the same thing when they fell apart in the latter stages of that third quarter. I think we're going to see a repeat of the second quarter here, really. It was 9 goals to 0 in the second quarter. We've just had 6 goals to 0. Chris Bucks will be saying, okay, Nightcliff, let's go. We want to have a really consistent and a strong finish to this game. It's going to take something pretty special from Waratah to try and prevent that happening.
And for Waratah, though, it's just all about pride. There's a couple of players out there that are still playing well and competitive, but for a lot of the others, very tired bodies. Jake Smart is limping to the boundary to have a seat. They needed him in that third quarter because they didn't have enough fresh players.
Yep, he had to go on.
Looks like a back. So the veteran defender is very, very sore down there, and that just sums up their afternoon as they are running out of really fresh legs, aren't they?
Absolutely. Wilkins has been terrific in the ruck. He's really competed, been impressed in particular with Waratah in defence, who just hasn't stopped trying, except for that one incident with Cameron Island having his shot at goal. Sam Godden, I'd love to see more from him out of the midfield. And Kim Cantilla and Henry Kerenua, they've sort of been okay in their forward 50, but they want the ball to come easily to them so they can go away and do the fancy stuff. That just doesn't happen in games like this today. They have to get in there, get hold of the footy and do some of the grunt work in that forward 50.
Well, the lights are coming on here at Waratah Oval as we hit local time. It is 10-7 and the ball is held aloft to bring us all the action and start the final quarter. Natasha Medbury.
Wilkins wins the tap for the Waratahs. Goes in for a second effort. He's dragged to the ground without the footy. Goes in again for a third effort. Comes out to Simpson for Waratahs. Hand passes it off to Stevens. Drives it into the 50. And that's a brilliant mark taken by Nathan Brown, the ex-skipper of the Tigers.
That footy beautifully.
Just read it so well, didn't he? Dangerous kick. Wilkins was there, but takes the mark, does Buderick. So Buderick in defensive 50 here for Tigers. Kicks it out wide, makes Kane Riley work, but if someone can work, that's him. Very, very good player, Kane Riley, and hits target that ends up dropping the footy was Jonathan Paris. No pressure on him, just spent the ball before he had it, and the ball's out of bounds on the outer side centre wing for a boundary throw-in.
Got to keep working here. Tars got to really get organised around their ruckman, around their midfield. Sam Godden show some leadership.
Underneath the scoreboard is the ball tossed up. Winter Irvine uncontested, was able to tap it down, but it was Kim Cantilla from Waratahs that picked it up. Big up and under, picked up for Waratahs. And that was Smith. Still going forward, Waratahs inside their forward 50, looking for Hodgins. He jumped early, but now an opportunity, a shot on goal, but it's gone up and under. And Kane Riley still has the pace. This centre-half back just loves to run. The Nightcliff Tyre player goes by hand back to the back left pocket to kick it, and kick it went across the goal.
I reckon it hit
Wasn't able to find a target, and that is just dribbled past the outside post.
I reckon it hit it on the full. That post, yeah.
So that is just dribbled out, and there is going to be a throw-in, but that was a bad decision there by Kickett. Probably the only thing he's done bad tonight.
Yes, a bit of an interesting one, wasn't it? He's been pretty good, but the umpire was right on the spot, so I think they know where they're at.
Smith versus Winter Irving comes down to Kickett. Kickett shovels no net now. Kickett's got the footy. Shovels a handball out to his mate and Riley. Kicks it off the ground. Ryan Moo's taken without it. Umpire says play on, well done. Ryan Moo's great at ground level. Then his teammate just overtook him. That was Brain. Picked up by Liam Holtfitz. Dances around one. Then gets it onto an up and under kick. Falls short. Well read by the Waratah defender in Grant. That's Jeremy Grant.
He lost sight of that, Hagan.
Yeah, he just got caught under it, didn't he? Gardner picks it up for Waratahs, has a teammate out wide, can deliver it into the 50, who to, and it's chopped off again by Nathan Brown for the Tigers.
So Nightcliff come away down the middle of the park through Riley. Big up and under, and there's no players there at centre half forward for Nightcliff. Ball down on the ground. 3 Waratah players over it, trying to come out of the pack, and Waratah gets a handball away. Now it's tapped forward. The ruckman for Nightcliff leading the chase of 3 Waratah players. Picks it up, gets a handball away to Butterick. Butterick kicks it short down to Hagan. Hagan opts now to go inboard, finds the captain, Philip Wills. He gets a kick away inside the forward 50 and finds Trent Melville, who is in front of Rakawasa. Takes the grab on the second attempt.
How does the ruckman beat 3 Waratahs players to the footy?
I couldn't believe that Winter Irving ran past Andre Ellis, who I thought was actually a fellow who possessed some pace.
Then picked it up, had a player hanging off him and got a handball away.
It just goes to show how important mental attitude is.
Yep. So Trent Melville, leading the goal kicking for the NTFL, approaches on his 5th goal of the afternoon, directly in front and sprayed it to the left. Rakawasa just letting him know.
They've had a good battle, haven't they? So Waratahs with the kick out, kicks it out to Hatcher. Jake Hatcher for Waratahs. Has it on the grandstand side here. Not much on offer. Just a short kick to Zobel. Played well for Waratahs today. Didn't gain too much ground. Switches the play to Rakawasa. Can't take the mark. Melville's there to clean up. Hand passes to a running Wilson. Wilson can see Moo into the 50, and Ryan Moo reads it well. Plays on as soon as he took the mark and kicks his 3rd goal of the game, does Ryan Moo. Well done to the Tigers. Just at every opportunity played on. And Wilson again involved in the play. But Ryan Moo, 3 goals for a small forward. He's done well today. And just the drop mark there by Rakawasa again. You see Wilson come through. He's seen Ryan Moo on the move. Took the mark and just ran in.
Hasn't he been terrific?
Goal.
And Dom, he's going to really deserve the first ice bath.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's been hit a few times, hasn't he, just? But what a terrific player he is. He's just competed so well. We saw him here in defence, charging at the footy, getting it out. Next minute, he's down there in the forward line, kicking a well-deserved goal. Again, some of the Waratah players could have a look at that and just see how hard he has been prepared to work for his team.
Seems to always find the right position as well.
So, back in the middle, Winter Irvine goes up against Smith. Comes out, and the player there trying to charge through for Waratah was Shaper. He was dispossessed, dropped from the Waratah Godden. He's harassed by 2 players from Nightcliff, now dispossessed. Wilson tried to pick it up. He can't get clean hands. The ball's moving forward on the ground in favour of Nightcliff. They're still inside the centre square, and the umpire has seen enough of it dribbling forward. And there's going to be a ball up just about a metre inside the attacking edge of the centre square. No real win of the tap down from Winter Irvine. say the
unlucky there, Eilert.
throw there from Cameron Eilert. He probably was taken high, and Eilert now has given away a free kick. So Waratah come out to the commentary wing. Henry Kerenua just chips it over, looking for a running player, and it's not marked in the end by Hatcher. Picked up by Kickett, but he fumbles it forward, and it is going to be a ball thrown in directly in front of the Waratah dugout.
Kickett there just taking the professional step. Let's not muck around here. We'll push it over the boundary line, reset, get our good midfielders around the footy and go again.
So Morris versus Smith in the ruck here for the boundary throw-in. Smith wins it for Waratahs, then takes his opponent without it. Back to Eilert. Eilert hand passes to Arnold. Arnold quickly on the boot. Just lowered his eyes. Zobel tried to jump over the top of Cheetahs. Now he's earned the free kick.
Gee, how Zobel missed that, I don't know.
At least they would have got mark of the game.
That was a great attempt. What a shame he didn't take that.
Joel Stevens back into Godden. Still on centre wing here in front of our commentary box. He got up pretty high as well.
He sure did.
Godden kicks it into the ruckman and Wilkins. Wilkins, second effort, taps it back to a teammate and Joel Stevens. Joel Stevens hand pass to McBean. McBean kicks it out.
Good kick.
To Kim Cantilla. Kim Cantilla kicks his second goal. Waratahs have their second, well deserved by Waratahs, and Kim Cantilla just found himself in the right spot with some space and kicked his second goal.
Well, good play there. Good play all round from Tars. The only negative was the fact that Bailey Zobel didn't take his screamer. But a good kick down to Wilkins, who competed. Stevens competed really strongly. Got the ball to McBean, gave the underground kick, and Kim Cantilla completely burnt his teammate in Henry Kerenua, who was in the clear in the corridor, had to kick the goal, but in true Tiwi Island fashion, just snapped it at the right banana and put it straight through. Great goal. To say it was much needed is the understatement of this century. Good to see them kick another goal. Second for the match only.
So Morris for Nightcliff up against Smith. Smith wins it down, but it goes behind him, and so Arnold for Nightcliff tries to kick it off the ground. Picked up by Henry Kerenua of Waratah, and so now Waratah have the run again. Stevens looking to go forward. Cameron Eilert for Nightcliff tried to chop it off. Peris got a hurried kick. Arnold just trying to pick it up at the moment. Might have got a boot to it laying on the ground. And Kane Riley for Nightcliff has got it out to Eilert, and they're going to go forward out on the outer wing. Wilson has a mountain of space, but he goes a thumping kick down towards the right forward pocket at the 50-metre arc, looking for Holtz Fitz. And that is going to trickle over the boundary. It's going to be a throw in the right forward pocket on the 50-metre arc.
Gee, that was good play, wasn't it? And Joel Stevens just tried to step around Cameron Eilert once, twice. They're not going to work too many more times. He burnt his teammate. Turnover. Just a bit of a shame that Liam Holt-Fitz dropped the mark that he should have taken.
Throw in. Neither ruckman took the advantage of it. Taken high was the Nightcliff player in Cheetahs. The umpire says no, so if he didn't try and get rid of the footy, it had to be one or the other.
Absolutely, totally agree there. Either that was a high tackle or it was holding the ball. Or it was holding the ball because he fell to the ground. And now he chooses to remonstrate. Must have been, I don't blame him in some ways, but the umpire's call is the umpire's call.
Umpire throws it up quickly. Cheetahs goes back in, hand passes to Hagan. Hagan to a teammate that was held without the footy. The umpire let it go for a little bit here. Morris gets driven into the ground. He's back. The umpire says play on. Just a bit of feeling getting involved here, and the umpire now has called the footy, so a ball up right on the 50 for the Tigers here.
Well, the umpires need to make sure that they keep control of this because the Waratah frustration could boil over.
Morris was the only one that went up for Nightcliff Tigers in the ruck. He thumped it forward. Moo goes a little chip down to Hagan. Hagan has all the time in the world. He squares it back up into the middle and finds Brown. And the defender is going to have a shot on goal, 40 metres out, directly in front. So a lot of tired bodies, as both my co-commentators are now looking at the spider on the window. Can you confirm is it on the outside?
Yes. Thankfully.
Okay, you keep an eye on the spider as long as it's on the outside. As Brown approaches, hits the 40-metre mark and directly in front, and they like it. And all the teammates within 20 metres come to the defender, Brown. Brown picks up his first for the afternoon. And I'm assured that there's a ugly-looking spider that's on the
There is,
outside of the
thankfully,
glass.
it is outside.
Somehow it's got a web on the glass on the outside.
Don't. And we are about, what, 20 metres up in the stand.
Now,
I think it happened here in Darwin as Nightcliff 21-8, 134 lead Waratah, 2-5-17, 11 minutes gone, final term.
11 minutes gone, only the second goal of the quarter for the Nightcliff Footy Club. Not really sure that this is where Chris Bucks saw this last quarter going. So Waratah have really taken it up to the Tigers in this last quarter. Probably had the most use of the footy, although they haven't used it as well. So 2-1 at this stage. Nightcliff really need to get their skates on to finish this off.
The umpire throws it up. Smith for Tars wins it down. Picked up by Wills. He goes without it. Few players holding on. The umpires let it go. So he's letting a few things go at the moment. O'Connor should get there first for Waratahs against Moo. Oh, well done body work by Moo. Just pushed his opponent off the footy and picks it up. Kicks it into Cameron Islet. Can't take the mark. At the back was Hagan. Michael Hagan has kicked his first goal of the game. Nightcliff have their 22nd. And just well done by the Tigers. But yeah, I probably expected a few more goals by now, but they'll probably start raining goals.
We'll just have a think of that. At the 11-minute mark, it was only 2 goals that they'd kicked. By the 12-minute mark, it was 3. Ryan Moo, great play again. Missed kick in some respects to Cameron Islet, but Michael Hagan took the footy. I'm sure he actually took the mark there, played on quickly. His snap for goal was superb and a goal on the board. He's had a pretty consistent match, Michael Hagan, and it'd be great to see him build some form as the Nightcliff head towards the finals.
He missed out on the grand final, of course, with an injury, so...
He's a classy player, and Nightcliff would like to see him playing good footy, particularly when the whips are cracking.
He becomes the 11th goal kicker for the Nightcliff Tigers as both original top ruckmen are back in. Winter Irvine goes up against Wilkins. Wilkins is, looks like he's limping at the moment. Dom, the ball has only travelled a couple of metres forward in favour of Nightcliff Tigers, and the umpire is going to ball it up.
He's just exhausted, Shannon.
Yeah. Winter Irvine in front. Wilkins tries to go over the top. He just taps it down, Winter Irvine. And there's going to be a free kick going towards Waratah's Godden. Godden comes out towards the commentary wing, finds Simpson, would pocket, and it's going to go over the boundary. That was a miss kick in the end. He
should have put it to the top of the square.
That was his intention.
Undisciplined play by Brain, who you could see was just, okay, this game's over, we're done, even though there's another 15 minutes to go. And the kick from Tars was terrible.
So ball tossed in 5 metres around from the right post of for Waratah. Snap on goal for Waratahs. And that was a snap by Simpson. And out of nothing, Simpson has got it from the back of the pack. And Simpson has got their 3rd goal for the afternoon late in the 4th quarter. And Simpson gets a couple of high fives, and that was a pretty good goal in the end.
Great effort indeed. Wonderful handball came out there from Henry Karanua. That's what really set it up. And good to see he and Kim Cantilla spending a little bit more time in the midfield. That's a move, I think, that probably should have been made much earlier, because in congestion there, his handball was just first class. Set up Simpson, who was cruising past on the outside, and a wonderful finish from him. Well done to those guys for sticking at it so late in this game.
So Nightcliff 22-8, 140, leading Waratah 3-5-23. But 2 goals coming in that final quarter here for Waratah.
Winter Irving wins the tap down. Cameron Islet overruns it. That's the pressure again by the Waratahs midfield. Changed a few midfielders, as Dominic spoke about. Shovels it out to Kim Cantilla. Hand passes to no one, so Kane Riley chops it off. He kicks it out to a teammate in Broderick. Kicks it out to Cameron Islet. How is he all alone on the wing? I don't know. Someone of that calibre kicks it to Michael Hagan. Takes it at the second grab, takes the mark. 45 metres directly in front. Michael Hagan is a noted goal kicker. Already kicked 1 in this quarter. We spoke about him earlier, missing out on the grand final premiership with Tigers last season after crossing from Darwin Buffaloes. His father, I think, still holds the record for the most goals kicked in a game. Normie Hagan still walks around in his Buffaloes gear. I don't think he was too thrilled about his son moving over the Tigers. As Hagan goes back, does it clear the line? I think it has. It's touched. Well done to Rakawasa to get a finger on that. So it's through for a behind.
Rakawasa's doing it all at the moment. Saved a goal and now has the kicking out duties. Oh, huge kick out to Cots, but he looked like he got a...
Had to have his arms punched there.
Oh, I think he got a whack in the head by Winter Irvine. Play on, says the umpire. Kane Riley has it in the middle of the park. He goes from 60 metres, thumping kick towards goals. It's gone to the right. It had the distance, and it is now Nightcliff 22-10, 142, leading Waratah 3-5-23. But Cots was very unlucky there not to get a free kick.
Rakawasa is a player running. Liam Holtfitz can't take a mark that time on his opponent. O'Connor gets slammed to the ground.
And gets the free kick.
Gets the free kick for
a tackle. I don't quite understand that.
I think the sling, the dangerous tackle, I think they, with his arms pinned, I think the umpires have paid that one, but...
That was going a bit far, and another free
kick to Waratahs. I thought that was a 50-50 call as well, but it's going free kick to Gardner. So Jordan Gardner. Still a long way from goal, Waratahs, but can they get their fourth of the game and third of the quarter? That's Wilkins, tries to take it on the second grab, can't. He attacked the footy well, comes out Nightcliff, goes past the big ruckman. That should be dropping the footy. Umpire says play on. Wilson runs away, has a bounce, running through the centre square. Looking for a teammate. Zobel should chop it off. He does. And he meets an opponent, Riley. Riley gets it off to Liam Holt, no, to Hagan. Hagan at the back. Gets it out to a teammate. Chip around the corner, moves underneath it. He's going to get crunched. At the back was Butcher. And it goes through for another behind, so Rakawasa will have another kick out.
He had to get that ball, Dom, because otherwise Butcher was behind him.
Oh, gee. Ryan Moo places his body in dangerous positions.
So the kick out outside the defensive 50, not able to be picked up by Cantilla. So Nightcliff Tigers now in the middle of the park with Cameron Islet. He dishes off a handball to the running Arnold. Running Arnold with a shot on goal. Melville went to fake the mark, and then he's put his hands down. Two defenders behind him thought he was going for it, and Melville has shepherded a goal through, and that was a great piece of play. Marked that down as Arnold's goal, but Melville really helping out his teammate there. And Nightcliff 23-11, 149 to Waratah 3-5-23.
Well, the Tigers, they've kicked 4 goals now in this quarter, but on the other side of the sheet, Waratah have kicked 2. They've only kicked 1 goal for the entire match up until that point. So Nightcliff perhaps just easing the foot off the pedal here. Cameron Islet becoming much more involved in this quarter as he cleans up some of his teammates' mess at times. And I think this is really where fitness is starting to tell. And Cameron Islet, one of the fittest there is.
Yeah, that's why he's back in the middle. So gets it down. Here he is, Cameron Islet on cue, taken high. Shovels the hand pass out to his teammate Arnold, the goal kicker. Butcher gets 2 hands on it and absolutely coat hang it. Was Michael Hagan by Gooch.
He put his body in, didn't he? He put his body in beautifully there, Hagan. Knew he was going to get hit, but took the hit, and he'll be able to line up now for his second goal of the quarter.
So 20 metres out, slight angle. Already kicked a goal in this last quarter, Michael Hagan. Just taking his time. A lot of tired players out there as Cameron Islet and Brad Arnold having a bit of a chat about their midfield role. But Hagan comes in, lovely kick, and kicks it through the big sticks. Nightcliff have their 24th goal on the board, and Michael Hagan has his second.
Bring up 150 as well, 155 to 23.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's just incredible, isn't it? Nightcliff Tigers raising the bat now for their century and a half. This is just terrible for the Waratah Football Club, but you know, you look on the other side, and this is fantastic for the Tigers. It's exactly what they would have liked in many respects to begin their post-Christmas campaign. They've done this very professionally this afternoon. Perhaps started a bit rustily in the beginning of the first quarter. Kicked 4 goals very quickly then, and was sort of shut down a bit by the Tars, but since that time they have just motored along beautifully. And I said they'd only kicked 2 goals in the 11-minute mark. Well, we're now 10 minutes later and they've kicked 5.
So Morris up against Smith. Morris from Nightcliff taps it down, but only as far as a Waratah player who got it forward to Graham, to Arnold. Arnold kicked it forward to Moo, was hit away by Rakawasa. And now it's on the ground and picked up by Nightcliff, a go inside their forward 50 to centre half forward. Sorry, full forward. And Butcher was on the lead. He had a good 5 metres on Gooch. And this is becoming all too easy now.
Shannon, they have worked so well together this afternoon. Trent Melville and John Butcher, they've worked so well in partnership. They haven't gotten each other's road or anything.
So Butcher coming in for his 6th goal of the evening, hits it,
just drills it, didn't he?
angle, and it was on the 35-metre mark that he has picked up his 6th goal for the night, his first for the final term as well. And Nightcliff Tigers 161 leading Waratah 23. Siren not too far away.
I'm glad that you've got the 3-2-1 tonight, because it's going to be a bit hard, I think. Do you give it to the goal kickers or do you give it to the grunt workers?
I was just thinking I might be able to squeeze John Butcher in there at some point, but just to go back to my point before, I think Trent Melville and John Butcher have worked so well together. They've led to different parts of the forward 50. They haven't got in each other's road at all. One's kicked 5, 6, and the other has kicked 4. I mean, what a great output for your 2 key forwards. They start in different positions. They're communicating really well, and their midfielders have used them beautifully from about the second quarter onwards, I think.
And 11 goal kickers for Nightcliff now.
Wonderful.
Across the board. Smith wins the tap down, doesn't gain much distance. Picked up by Cheetahs. Shovels it out to Wilson. Wilson can't pick it up with one grab, but taps it back to Wills, taken high. Played well for that Phil Wills, the captain. Nichols medal winner as well. At the back was Hagan. The umpire says play on, but Cheetahs gets the ball out to Liam Holt. Fitz can run in and kick a goal. Here he does. He squares it up and he's blown it. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. It was just too easy in the end for Liam Holt Fitz to get his 3rd. And he's kicked it out of bounds on the full, went straight across the face, and a free kick to Waratahs.
He had a bit too much time, didn't he? It was set up beautifully, and then he just blew it on the kick.
Kept running straight.
Yeah, should have kept running straight. He tried to go the angle, and that just mucked it up.
So Waratah on the outer wing. Ball put out in front and kicked off the ground by McBean, and he has kicked it out on the full.
They're just praying for this siren now, Waratahs.
Yeah, and look, can't blame them, really. What a difficult position to be in.
Tough afternoon. Nightcliff 161 leading Waratah 23. And the ball dropped that should have been taken in the back. So
and
Wilkins...
now cramp.
But Wilkins, the ruck for Waratah, has not given up at any stage.
No, he hasn't. And Brain on the ground, he has been...
And this is what captains are there for.
That's right, to help you with your cramp.
Or take the kick for you.
And that's more to the point, I reckon.
No, he helps him up, gives him the ball. Probably get the handball off here. There we go.
Well called.
Very, very smart captaincy there. Wills, though, goes down the outer wing. It was a huge up and under, and it finds Henry Karanua for Waratah. He just chips it short, finds Cantilla. Cantilla looks down, not much going, so he just chips it even further down, still on the outer wing. Finds Stevens. He's under the scoreboard, so 3 kicks, and they've only gone about 30 metres, which probably doesn't even add up. So it's gone now inside the forward 50 on the left wing for Waratah. And a player is smashed by 2 Nightcliff Tigers defenders, including Kickett.
Very fortunate there not to have a free kick against him. I think it might be Simpson. He dodged one way, then the other, and got nailed.
Yeah, it should have been holding the footy. Coming through is Wilkins. Boundary line beats him to it.
Still going, the big fella.
He is. I'm so impressed just with it, with his ability,
so
I guess. Once he gets a bit more bulk to him.
Yep. He needs to learn to put his body in the right position, and
still a teenager.
He's still a teenager. His effort has just been first class.
Long-term ruck option for Waratahs, that's for sure.
So
Smith,
ball up. Smith and Morris. Morris for Nightcliff tries to pick it up, but Henry Karanua steals it off him. Gets a ball out to Smith. Smith with a huge up and under. And trying to get front position was Hodgson. Hodgson gets it in the lap, up and under as well, though. And the mark has been taken. That was by Butterick. He was told to play on. Cheetahs picks it up now, still inside the forward for Waratahs. And as we say that, Rakawasa is inside the forward 50 for Waratahs, and he's cleaned up his own player, and getting off the deck very slowly was Godden. And two Waratah players take each other out, and now it's Nightcliff.
He wiped him out.
Flattened him.
So Moo takes the ball on the bounce, has Riley running past, makes it to him now. Had to slow down the play, but so he's taken the mark 49 metres out. As the siren goes before the mark was taken, you can see Jonathan Perez, a big smile on his face there, trying to con the umpire. So to end the game, Waratahs were unfortunately really bad losers tonight. 3-5-23, Nightcliff 25-11, 161 tonight was a dead set training run for them tonight.
Well, my mathematics says that that's 138-point victory there, which is stunning. And even from the scoring shots perspective, Shannon, 36 scoring shots, Nightcliff Tigers to Waratahs 8. It's a phenomenal performance by the #1 team in the competition, and they've sent the message. And I know Waratah are sitting second last on the ladder, but they did what they should do as the reigning premier.
Yeah, wow. And that just shows you, though, the difference in the depth as well, as Jake Smart, the veteran defender who came back for this game, can't even walk out to the middle of the park. And they were down a couple of personnel on the bench. But, you know, we praise their ruck in Wilkins, the young guy that was playing Div 2 last season, went up to Div 1, was dominating, and they're using him now in Men's Premier League. They just don't have another backup ruckman. How glorious would it be if they were that he was their backup ruckman?
He was the backup.
And that he's so young and he's so fit and very skilled. But when he's that young...
Westenberg